Did you know that the best ideas often come when you're not thinking about them? It sounds crazy, right? But research shows that your brain can be more creative when it's relaxed and free from pressure. In fact, 60% of creative breakthroughs happen during moments when we're not trying to be creative at all. And here's something even more surprising. When you let your mind wander, your brain is actually working harder in the background to solve problems. This video will reveal why the most creative moments happen when you're doing the opposite of what you expect. We'll explore simple strategies you can use to boost your creativity by embracing silence, boredom, and stepping away from the task at hand. You'll learn how powerful it can be to stop trying so hard and let your mind wander instead. Stay tuned to find out how doing less might just make you more creative than ever before. Chapter 1. The Mind's Secret Playground. When doing nothing is actually doing everything, creativity isn't always about sitting at a desk, grinding away. In fact, it's often about giving yourself space to do absolutely nothing. We're wired to think that ideas come when we're working hard, but in reality, the best ones often pop up when we least expect them. It's like a brain reset. When you're not actively trying to be creative, your mind starts connecting the dots in the background. According to Dr. John Cunios, a cognitive neuroscientist, our brain is working harder than we realize during off moments. This is called incubation. Essentially, your brain continues processing information when you're relaxed or distracted. Have you ever found that the perfect solution to a problem pops into your head while in the shower or during a walk? That's your brain quietly working away. You see, creative ideas don't always need a strict timeline or forced effort. A study published in Psychological Science revealed that people who allowed their minds to wander were more likely to solve complex problems. This shows that creativity thrives when we stop overthinking. The best part? This incubation phase can happen anywhere. You don't need a fancy office or a quiet studio. All you need is the freedom to let your thoughts wander, whether it's while driving or sipping your morning coffee. So, instead of forcing creativity, try giving yourself permission to relax. One key strategy? Let go of the guilt of doing nothing. In our fast-paced world, we're always told to be productive. But the truth is, your most brilliant ideas could come from embracing moments of stillness. Start by creating small pockets of time where you purposely step away from your work. Take a break, go for a walk, or even just sit in silence. Studies have shown that 60% of creative breakthroughs happen when we step away from the task. Our brains are constantly making new connections in these quiet moments, and they might lead to something unexpected. So next time you're stuck, don't panic. Relax, step back, and let your brain work for you. Chapter 2. The Power of Not Thinking. Why your brain loves silence. When you stop forcing your brain to work, that's when the magic happens. In a world filled with noise and distractions, the power of silence cannot be underestimated. Creativity thrives when your mind is allowed to rest and recharge. Ever notice how ideas flow more freely after a good night's sleep? That's because your brain has been offline, allowing it to reset. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker says sleep is crucial for problem solving. While you sleep, your brain sorts through information and makes new connections. In fact, research from the University of California shows that people who took a 90-minute nap after learning something new performed better in a creativity test. Silence isn't just about sleep, though. It's about creating moments during the day where your mind has space to breathe. Think about it. Have you ever felt stuck on a project only to have an idea suddenly hit you when you stop thinking about it? That's the power of what's known as resting state activity. Your brain is hard at work even when you're not consciously focused. This is why brainstorming in a group isn't always the best way to come up with fresh ideas. Research shows that the best solutions often come in moments of solitude, where you're free from external pressures. So, start spending time alone with your thoughts. Silence allows you to listen to your inner voice and sparks creativity. One simple way to embrace this strategy is through meditation. A study published in Psychological Science found that mindfulness meditation boosts creativity. It helps you tap into that deep, calm state where new ideas naturally arise. Even 10 minutes of focused breathing can help your brain reset and make creative connections. Letting your brain wander, without judgment or pressure, leads to new insights. This is because your brain's default mode network, activated during moments of rest, is responsible for creativity and innovation. It's like giving your brain permission to relax and be creative at the same time. So, if you're ever feeling blocked, try embracing silence. Allow your mind to rest. Remember, creativity doesn't always require hard work, sometimes it simply needs the freedom to unfold. Chapter 3. Disconnect to reconnect. How stepping away sparks breakthroughs. Sometimes, the best way to get unstuck is to step away completely. It might sound counterintuitive, but disconnecting from a task can actually help you make big creative leaps. When you're constantly staring at the same problem, your brain gets locked into a narrow way of thinking. But when you break free, your mind can take a new route and come back with fresh ideas. Take a moment and think about the last time you had a great idea. Was it when you were working tirelessly on a project? Or was it during a quiet moment when you weren't thinking about the problem at all? The truth is, your brain works in mysterious ways, and sometimes the best ideas come when you least expect them. There's scientific evidence to support this. A study published in Nature Neuroscience shows that when you take a break from something, your brain starts processing information in a different way. This gives you a chance to look at things from a fresh perspective. By stepping away, you allow your brain to solve problems more efficiently, without you even realizing it. Famous creative minds like Steve Jobs and Albert Einstein were known for stepping away from their work. Jobs often took long walks to clear his mind, and Einstein famously played the violin to spark new ideas. By disconnecting from their work, they allowed space for their minds to wander and make unexpected connections. Even a brief walk or a change of scenery can make a huge difference. When you return to your task after a break, you might see the solution right in front of you. This is why it's so important to schedule breaks throughout your day. Give yourself the freedom to step away without feeling guilty. Creativity doesn't thrive under pressure, so give yourself permission to disconnect and recharge. Another strategy is to switch tasks entirely. If you're stuck on one project, work on something completely different. This allows your brain to relax and reset. You might find that ideas for the original task suddenly pop up once you're working on something else. When you step away, it's like hitting the reset button. By removing yourself from the equation, your brain can process the information more effectively and arrive at better solutions. The trick is to trust the process and allow yourself the time and space to disconnect. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of our next video on creativity strategies. Chapter 4. The Zen of Creativity. Finding inspiration in idle time. Sometimes, the key to creativity is simply allowing yourself to do nothing. In a world that values productivity above all, it's easy to forget that idle time is essential for fresh ideas. It's not about wasting time, it's about giving your brain the freedom it needs to find new connections. This is where mindfulness and being present come into play. Studies have shown that people who practice mindfulness have increased creativity. According to a study in psychological science, people who meditate daily have higher creative problem-solving abilities than those who don't. Meditation helps clear mental clutter, allowing you to make space for innovative ideas. The key to this strategy is allowing yourself to sit in silence without distractions. When you're constantly surrounded by noise or trying to multitask, your brain is never truly free to be creative. But when you unplug and just sit quietly, your mind can wander, make connections, and spark new ideas. It's like giving your brain the room to stretch. What's more, boredom isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's the perfect environment for creativity to thrive. A study from the University of Central Lancashire found that people who embraced boredom were more likely to come up with unique, out-of-the-box ideas. So the next time you find yourself getting bored, see it as an opportunity for your brain to work in new ways. Another strategy is to embrace nature. Nature walks have been shown to improve creativity. A study published in Psychology of Aesthetics, Creativity, and the Arts found that people who spent time in natural environments showed a 50% improvement in creative problem-solving tasks. So if you're feeling stuck, take a walk in the park or just sit outside and observe your surroundings. Creativity doesn't need to be forced. Sometimes, it's in the moments of stillness and nothingness that the best ideas appear. So, take time to slow down. Allow yourself to rest. In these quiet, mindful moments, your best creative breakthroughs are waiting to be discovered. Chapter 5. Unplugged Ideas. Harnessing the Hidden Power of Boredom. In our tech-driven world, we're always connected, always distracted, always doing something. But what if the best ideas don't come from constant activity? What if they come from boredom? It sounds strange, but boredom is a powerful tool for creativity. Researchers from the University of California found that people who experience boredom are more likely to tap into their creative potential. Boredom forces your brain to look for new things to do, and in doing so, it sparks new ideas. It's like a mental reset that clears the clutter and allows for creative thoughts to emerge. When you're bored, your mind is free to roam. You might think of an old hobby, remember a forgotten passion, or connect ideas you never would have otherwise. Without the distractions of work or social media, your brain begins to think outside the box. This is why many successful creators intentionally embrace moments of boredom. For instance, the famous inventor Nikola Tesla once said, "Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born." Tesla believed that solitude and boredom allowed the mind to run wild with new ideas. One way to use boredom for creativity is to unplug from technology. Research shows that the constant pull of digital devices can stifle creativity. A study by the University of California found that reducing screen time for just 1 week could improve focus and creativity by 50%. So try putting your phone down for a while and just sit with your thoughts. Another strategy is to do nothing. Literally. If you're feeling stuck, take 20 minutes to sit quietly, with no agenda, no distractions, and no pressure. This is where your brain can start forming new connections and ideas. Don't underestimate the power of doing nothing. Boredom is an invitation for your mind to wander. And sometimes, that's exactly what you need to create something amazing. So next time you find yourself bored, embrace it. Let your mind roam free, and you may just stumble upon your next big idea. Chapter 6. The Eureka Moment. Why the best ideas strike out of nowhere. Have you ever had a great idea pop into your head when you weren't even trying? Maybe while you were taking a shower, walking the dog, or lying in bed at night. That sudden, aha, moment is known as a Eureka moment, and it's one of the most exciting parts of the creative process. But what's happening behind the scenes during these moments? According to researchers, these spontaneous ideas are often the result of unconscious processing. Your brain has been quietly working on a problem in the background, and when the time is right, the solution appears out of nowhere. This is why we sometimes come up with our best ideas when we're not thinking about them. In fact, studies show that these moments of sudden insight are more likely to happen when we stop forcing our brains to work. A study from the University of California found that people who were given time to relax were more likely to solve a problem creatively than those who were under time pressure. It's like letting your brain breathe for a bit. One strategy for encouraging Eureka moments is to practice incubation. This is the process of stepping away from a problem, letting it sit for a while, and allowing your mind to work on it subconsciously. This technique is widely used by inventors, writers, and artists. For example, famous playwright Samuel Beckett said, "Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail better." You can also increase your chances of a Eureka moment by creating an environment that encourages relaxation. Studies show that the more relaxed you are, the more creative your brain becomes. So, take a break from your desk, go outside, and let your mind wander. It's during these moments of relaxation that your brain can make those unexpected connections that lead to breakthrough ideas. Another way to encourage Eureka moments is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware of the moment. Research from Harvard University shows that mindfulness boosts creativity by reducing stress and allowing you to approach problems with a clear mind. The clearer your mind, the better your chances of having a Eureka moment. When the ideas strike, don't try to control them. Sometimes, the best ideas come in the most unexpected ways. The key is to be open to them and embrace the spontaneity. After all, creativity isn't always about planning. Sometimes, it's about allowing the right moment to arrive. Be sure to subscribe to stay updated with more tips on how to unlock your full creative potential.